Okay. And are you ready, Bob?
I am.
Once I hit start. Good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Kristen Applegate, Assistant Vice President for Community and Regional Affairs at Princeton University, and I'll be the moderator and Zoom coordinator for this public information session this evening. I'm pleased to be joined by Mr. Robert Ortego, Princeton University's Manager of Environmental Compliance and Facilities Operations at Princeton University. Bob has prepared a short presentation regarding Princeton's Title V Air Permit Renewal. After Bob completes his presentation, we will have time for questions. As you listen to the presentation, if you have questions, you can pose them in the Q&A tab on your screen. When posting the question, please include your name, the name of any organization you represent, if you are representing an organization, the municipality you're located in, and an email or mailing address. At the conclusion of the slide presentation, I'll read through those questions and provide additional time for Q&A to be posted. Just as a reminder, we are recording this meeting this evening. I'm very pleased now to ask Bob Ortego. Bob, if you can start your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Kristen. Welcome everyone to our presentation for our air permit renewal for our Title V permit on the Princeton University campus. Again, Kristen and I will walk through this presentation, and we've generated, as Kristen indicated, a handful of slides to discuss the various aspects of the permit. So in terms of tonight's agenda, we want to talk a little bit in the very beginning about the procedural process, which is really just how to get the community members an opportunity to make comment on our pending permit. And then we want to talk a little bit about the environmental justice rules that came into effect in New Jersey specifically, and then the Title V air permit renewal process and some of the permitting process that we've done, discuss some of the equipment that we have that is requiring us to renew our permit and also qualifies us as Princeton University as a major source. And then, as Kristen indicated, we'll go into the public input opportunity and hopefully address questions and comments as they come up. So I'm going to read this verbatim for the record. It's the procedural process. Kristen kind of highlighted what we wanted to, how we wanted to discuss tonight's forum. And so to enter questions, you can go to the bottom, or actually it's up at the top. I see my toolbar at the top of the screen, which is part of the QA button. So in that, please, when you hit that, please share your name, organization as applicable, municipality, and email or email address when submitting a question in the Q&A. Once the presentation is completed, the university will address each question in the QA section for stating the question and then providing a response. Again, this meeting is being recorded and you will be able to for playback after tonight's session on the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, NJDEP, YouTube page, and also the Princeton University website. And you can see the location of that. I will not reiterate that because I'm sure I'll mess it up if I go through it. So that's how we'd like to conduct tonight's public comment period. In terms of the environmental justice program in New Jersey, in 2020, the New Jersey State Legislature passed this environmental justice law requiring the NJDEP to explore public health impacts for various environmental permits that are either coming up for renewal, that are new, or being upgraded or expanded. So as we reiterated, Princeton University is renewing its existing Title V air permit. And so the rule ended up becoming an administrative order 2021-25. And in essence, it's the environmental justice rule. And so again, it's to ensure facilities educate the communities about their operations and obtain public input during the permitting process. And we listed the NJDEP web link where the environmental justice rule regulations are located. So in terms of our Title V air permit renewal, we've had a Title V permit since 1999, and that was driven primarily by our cogeneration plant, which was completed construction, I believe, in 1997. So it's been a long time. And so the Title V permit is overseen by the EPA and also the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, which has state authority to govern that permit. And it's for all major sources of air emissions that are within a facility, quote unquote. So Princeton University's main campus is considered a facility. And so the Title V permits are required for major sources of air pollution, which Princeton University qualifies under. And then there are various other incinerators, landfills, industrial manufacturing facilities throughout the state that qualify as a Title V permit. And so it's a very, very rigorous permitting scheme that starts literally 2 years before the permit is up for renewal. So we've actually been in this process for a good year and a half, and we're at the final stages where the permit is currently being reviewed by the NJDEP, and we are also required to do the public forum for the environmental justice rules, which we fall under. So it's kind of just a highlight of, okay, why is Princeton University a major facility, and so why are they required to do this? So the primary reason, to cut to the chase a little bit, is that our cogeneration plant, which I like to think as is the heart of the campus. So the cogeneration plant produces electricity that is consumed by the campus, and then it also provides steam, heat, and cooling for the various buildings throughout the campus. So it goes through an underground an underground tunnel system, and distributed to the various buildings throughout the plant. In addition to that, we have 4 commercial boilers, which are of such a range that they are significant sources. They are primarily used for graduate and student housing, 3 of them, and then 1 of them is for an academic building on the edge of campus. We also have 26 emergency generators. They're primarily diesel, and they're throughout the campus used for life safety issues in case of power outages. And they also provide backup power for our laboratory facility. So if you can remember during Katrina, Tulane University went black, and all their research facilities lost all their studies and experiments. And so we have these generators throughout our campus so that that doesn't happen here. And so the cogeneration plant, again, is a gas-fired turbine engine that runs on diesel and primarily natural gas that drives a motor generator that produces electricity for the campus. And we also take the exhaust gases from that engine and capture the heat and produce steam from that. And then we have 2 auxiliary boilers that can provide campus heating in the event that the turbine is down. So that constitutes the cogeneration plant. We also have a small paint spray booth that is associated with our paint shop. It's a booth that's probably about 15 feet by 15 feet, and it's used for the paint shop when they're refurbishing furnitures and things like that. And then we have a gasoline underground storage tank at our McMillan building. That's it's 4,000 gallons underground storage. And that provides gasoline to the campus facilities, trucks, and other equipment, and also to a lot of the student agencies and other groups that have vehicles that require fuel. And so you can see that, again, the cogeneration plant's been in operation for almost 27 years, and then the air permit has been in existence since 1999. So to kind of get perspective, we've started the process again almost a year and a half ago for our Title V permit renewal, and we submitted to the NJDEP in February 2023 our permit, which had some minor modifications just based on equipment that was brought on. And again, that's going through review currently by the NJDEP. And we hope to get through that process in the next 2 or 3 months. And so just to put it in perspective, we've provided a chart below. The facility totals are our potential to emit for our entire campus. And that the potential to emit PTE is basically not so much the capacity, but what your permit for that piece of equipment allows you to emit. And so you can see where we measure volatile organics, VOCs, oxides of nitrogen, NOx, carbon monoxide, CO, sulfur dioxide, SO2, total suspended particulates, TSP, particulate matter 10 and 2.5, lead, and some additional hazardous air pollutants that are minor. And so you can see that the plant actually is the majority of the Title V permit, and that the potential to emit levels, which are 39.8 for VOC as an example, because of our operations on campus and the ability to use solar, which we brought panels and fields and arrays that we've brought on in the last couple of years, in addition to other energy saving features, we generally run about a third of these levels for the cogen plant. And so we have the ability to run more, but because of our energy management systems, we actually run much less. And so just as a highlight, as part of the cogeneration plant, because it is a primary source, we have continuous emission monitors for oxygen, NOx, and CO that run 24/7 at the plant. And so they are quality control checked every day. There is a litany of procedures and reporting that's required on a quarterly basis, semi-annual basis, annual basis. And so that's how we track our emissions for the plant. And so we have additional controls on the various pieces of equipment, the low NOx burners, the flue gas recirculation, water injection that is actually injected right into the gas turbine engine to drop the levels of NOx and CO. And so it's a fairly rigorous program. The Title V permit is almost 200 pages. And within that stipulates how we are allowed to operate and what our emissions are and how we have to report to the NJDEP and to the US EPA. So that continuous emission monitoring system, even though it is very small in the overall operation of the cogen plant, it is essential to be running all the time while we're running our operations at the cogen plant. Otherwise, we can't, in essence, run the plant without the emission monitors. So just to discuss some of the public input opportunities under this Title V the environmental justice outreach program. We reached out to property owners within 200 feet of our facility operations. We've notified the campus, the departments, the staff, the student body. We've reached out to the local county and state officials in Princeton, West Windsor, Mercer County, and New Jersey, posting in newspapers, Princeton Packet, the Americano, Hispanic, and we've posted to the NJDEP itself, and they've posted to their website. And then again, we are conducting this virtual public information session tonight, which is being recorded. So this is part of our program to give the community an opportunity to comment and on our existing Title V permit as it goes through its renewal process. So that's pretty much our PowerPoint presentation. And I just want to go through, I'll read through this again, that the public comment period process is 60+ days and started in January 15th, 2024, goes to March 18th, 2024. Again, we will respond to comments hopefully tonight, and if need be, additionally in either email or mail form. And so if someone has a comment that they thought about after this program, they can send their comment or inquiry to my email address, which is the comment email, rfo@princeton.edu, or you can also mail correspondence to my address at Princeton University, Facility Operations, Macmillan Building, MACMILLAN, Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering, Princeton, New Jersey, 08504, and to my attention, Robert F. Ortega. So, Kristen, do you want to discuss this, or do you want? Okay, you're on mute, and so
Thanks, Bob.
no worries.
Thanks, Bob, for taking us through that presentation. A lot of information shared there, all hopefully very interesting to our attendees. We do have a question in our Q&A that I will go through. There's information on the screen that we've shared before about how you can submit a question through the Q&A. As Bob said, it may be on the top, it may be on the bottom of your screen. Please share the information to identify yourself. And we'll address each question as it comes in. We do have a question from Akil Booch, who's in the Watchung Warren, New Jersey area from Barron Environmental. Bob, he's asking about our gasoline underground storage tank. When was it installed? And does it have a monitoring system? And I'll probably get this wrong. It asks hydrock soil intrusion. That's why you have a PE after your name, and I do not have a PE after my name. So I'll ask you if you can respond to that question from Akil.
Okay, I'm happy to. Thank you for your question. Kristen, I have one question for you. There's a button on his Q&A that I see, answer live. Do I hit that button? Because
nope,
the other one looks like it's
you just answer the question. You are answering live, so we're all set.
All right, fair enough. Thank you. So the Macmillan underground storage tank was installed about 1995. And so it's a gasoline monitoring system that has a VITA route, which is a manufacturer's 24/7 monitoring system that monitors the tank's fuel levels. It monitors the interstitial space between the fiberglass tank. And there's another litany of monitors that are associated with that are inspected on an annual basis and reported to the NJDEP as part of our tank registration process. So does it have a monitoring system for hydrocarbon soil intrusion? It does not. There is a dry well that's adjacent to the tank. And so if by chance there's a problem that we have to investigate, we always have that dry well to use as a potential source to investigate whether or not we have some leak type problem going on. So I hope that answers your question.
Akil, if you have any additional questions to what Mr. Ortega just responded, please add those to the chat and I'll pose those for you. I will pause for just a minute. If anyone else would like to pose a question, we're happy to answer those. Okay, I'm not seeing any additional questions come in. If you could move to the next slide, Bob.
I will.
Great. So as it says here, the comment period will continue to be open through March 18th of 2024. Bob's email, rfo@princeton.edu is here, and please send questions or comments to him. I know he's very responsive. And the mailing address is available. Those questions or comments will also get to Bob just a little slower than email. In addition, we will be posting the presentation slides from this evening. They'll be posted on the Princeton University Facilities website under a post that is live and has been live on that website about the meeting in the Facilities News tab. That website is facilities.princeton.edu/news, and we'll have these slides up tomorrow. Again, a reminder that you can make a comment until March 18th of 2024. Oh, we've got one more question that came in. I'm sorry, almost missed it. Robert Almgren from, it looks like a Princeton address. He's asking, how can he obtain a copy of the application document?
So I believe you can query the NJDEP air compliance group, and they have our permit on record as part of a public information piece.
So that would mean to go to, Bob, just to clarify, does that mean you go to the New Jersey DEP website, and is there a link there that can be obtained?
There, you're all correct. You go to the NJDEP website, and within that, if you go into the air compliance tab and work your way down through that, there is a section that has the various pending permits associated with the Title V permitting process, and you should be able to get a copy of that.
It looks like Robert shared an email in the chat. Perhaps we can download that link and email it to him just in case he can't find it. Would that be possible, Bob?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So Robert, what you'll probably get an email from Bob Ortega sooner rather than later with a link to that site, just to make sure that you're able to get to that information. We'll pause again and see if there's any other questions. Thanks for those questions. All right, everyone. Thanks again for your participation this evening. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you.
Thank you.